Tyla just won a Grammy, but not everyone's convinced she deserved it. There's been talk of payola scandals and fake accents. Is she the real deal or just another industry plant? Let's take a closer look at Tyla's rise to fame and see how it stacks up against other overnight sensations in hip-hop. Tyla blew up out of nowhere with her hit single Water and loyal fan base. But now she's cancelled her tour cause of an injury. Or is it really cause of low ticket sales? You know what I mean? Like, the music industry is wild, unpredictable. Lots of artists struggle to turn online hype into actual sales. And her new album flopped too, didn't even chart. The music video got surprisingly low views compared to her old TikTok numbers. It's got people wondering, is this chick legit or what? Anti-American comments, collabing with Chris Brown, rumours about her manager. It's a lot of scrutiny surrounding her now. Critics are saying her music is repetitive, lacks range. But hey, she's still new, gotta give her time to grow, right? Alright, so let's talk about how Tyla blew up. You know what I mean? Like, this chick was unknown, nobody knew who the hell she was. Then bam, out of nowhere her song Water just takes off. It's everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you couldn't escape it. It was wild. Like, one day she's a nobody and the next she's got millions of views, streams out the wazoo. That's the power of social media, man. It can change your whole life overnight. And yo, the numbers don't lie. We're talking 140 million, that's million with an N, views on just one of her singles. That's insane for a new artist, you feel me? Like, how many people can say they did that with their first hit? Not many, I'll tell you that much. But hey, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. With that kind of success comes pressure, expectations. Tyla had to prove she wasn't just a one-hit wonder, that she had staying power. And let's be real, the industry is brutal, it'll chew you up and spit you out if you can't keep up. So yeah, Tyla's rise was meteoric, there's no denying that. Water was the catalyst, the spark that lit the flame. It put her on the map, made her a household name. But the question is, can she sustain that momentum? Can she keep evolving, keep pushing boundaries, keep giving the people what they want? Because let's keep it a buck, social media is fickle, man. One minute you're the hottest thing since sliced bread, the next you're old news. The algorithms change, trends shift, and if you can't adapt, you get left behind. So Tyla, she's got to stay on her toes, got to keep innovating, got to keep giving us those hits. But yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm curious to see how she navigates this new reality, this new level of fame. Like, what role did TikTok and all that play in making her a star? How much of it was organic versus manufactured? If you asked me, all manufactured. Now let's talk about the social media magic, right? Like, TikTok and all that played a huge role in making Tyla a star. It's crazy how much power these platforms have. You know what I mean? Like, one minute you're just another face in the crowd, and the next, you're viral, you're everywhere. And with Tyla, TikTok was like her secret weapon. That's where Water really took off, where it started getting all those views and shares. It's like TikTok was the perfect storm for her. The algorithm gods were smiling down on her or something. But honestly, it's not just TikTok though. Instagram, Twitter, all those platforms helped boost her popularity too. It's like they all worked together to create this perfect hype machine around Tyla. And when you got that kind of buzz going on social media, it's like wildfire, man, it spreads fast. But here's the thing though, social media fame can be fleeting. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're popping on TikTok don't mean you're going to be selling out stadiums, which she didn't and failed to do so. Her team says it's due to leg injury, when truth is she couldn't fill up the seats like they assumed she would. Tyla's album sales and video views kinda proved that point. Like, despite all that TikTok hype, her album didn't really chart like that. Only people messing with it are those in her home country of South Africa. It's like one of them Lipstick Alley posts said, she benefited from a TikTok trend of which there is a new one each week. And that's real talk right there. These trends come and go so fast, it's hard to build a lasting career off that. Ask others, they'll tell you. And it ain't just Tyla either. We've seen this with other artists too, like Saweetie and Coi Leray. They got big social media followings but struggle to turn that into real-world success, you get me? It's like there's a disconnect between online popularity and actual sales and charts. So yeah, social media definitely played a big part in Tyla's rise, no doubt about that. But it's also important to remember that social media love don't always equal long-term success in this game. You gotta have more than just viral moments. You need that real talent and staying power too. But speaking of industry moves, have you all heard about this thing called payola? It's been around for a minute, but some folks are wondering if it played a role in Tyla's success. Let's break that down next. So payola, right? It's this shady-ass practice in the music biz where record labels be paying off radio stations to play their artists' songs more. It's been around since like forever, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, they used to call it pay and Victrola, like those old school record players, and that's how we got the word payola. This ish really blew up in the 50s when music was booming and radio was king. DJs had mad power back then. They could make or break an artist just by spinning their record. And some of these cats, man, they were getting their palms greased heavy by the labels to push certain songs. Like, you had this dude Alan Freed, he was like the OG of rock and roll radio. But homie got caught up in this big payola scandal in the late 50s. They were saying he was taking bribes left and right to play specific joints. It was wild, man. So in 1960, Congress was like, nah, we gotta put a stop to this blah blah blah. And they made payola illegal. They said if you take any money or gifts to play a song without telling the people, that's a straight-up crime. You following me? But let's keep it real. Just because something's illegal don't mean it stopped happening. Payola's still alive and well in the game today, it just got more slick with it. Instead of straight cash to the DJs, it might be like some under-the-table promo deals or getting the artist to make appearances on either stream platforms like Kai Cenat, Aiden Ross, or with podcasts like Millions Worth of Game or Funny Marco, etc. And the thing is, payola messes with the whole integrity of the music, you know? Like, if labels are just buying spins, how do we know what's really hot and what's just manufactured hype? It makes it tough for the real talented people to get shine if they ain't got the bag to play the payola game. But anyways, with all this talk about payola, it's got some folks wondering if maybe, just maybe, it had something to do with Tyla's meteoric rise. I mean, she blew up overnight on a level we rarely see from a South African artist. So is it all just her raw talent and social media savvy, or is there more to the story? I believe it's a bit of both and then some more. Now, check this out. When an artist blows up as fast as Tyla did, it's natural for folks to start wondering what's really going on behind the scenes. You feel me? And that's where all this payola talk comes from. It's like, was her success really just about the music and the social media buzz, or was there some industry shady deals going on too? But here's the thing, ain't nobody got no hard evidence of payola when it comes to Tyla. It's all just speculation and rumours at this point. You got people on forums, socials, YouTube, podcasts, etc. talking about how her management must be spending big on PR to boost her image. But where's the proof? You know what I mean? And let's keep it real. Just because an artist has a massive TikTok hit, don't mean their album sales gonna match up. We've seen that before with other artists like Saweetie. So when Tyla's new album didn't chart like crazy, some folks took that as a sign that maybe her success was more manufactured than organic. But yo, we gotta be careful with that kind of talk. Just because an artist doesn't sell 1 million albums overnight, don't mean there's some industry plant or something. And let's not forget, Tyla won a whole ass Grammy, fam. That's a big deal, payola or not. At the end of the day, all this payola talk is just noise until someone comes through with some real receipts. Until then, it's all just theories and gossip. And honestly, does it even matter? If the music's good and the people vibe with it, who cares how it got popular, you know? But I will say this, all this controversy and speculation, it's definitely adding to Tyla's mystique. It's got people talking, wondering what's what. And in this game, sometimes that buzz is worth more than gold, even if it comes with a side of scandal. Speaking of controversy though, what's up with Tyla cancelling her tour out of nowhere? Some folks are saying it wasn't just about an injury, but more about them ticket sales. And apparently she ain't the only one facing that kind of struggle right now. Let's talk about that next, because there might be more to this story than meets the eye. So speaking of struggles, let's talk about this tour situation with Tyla Man. It's got folks scratching their heads, you know what I mean? Like, 1 minute she's announcing this big-ass tour with just one hit song, flopped debut album, and the next thing you know, it's cancelled out of nowhere. The official word is that she got some kind of injury that's been low-key messing with her for a minute, but now it's gotten so bad that she can't even hit the stage. That's the story they're putting out there anyway. The streets are talking, and they're saying maybe it ain't just about the injury. You feel me? There's all these rumours floating around that the real reason the tour got shut down is because the ticket sales were looking mad weak. And that's a tough pill to swallow for an artist who's supposed to be on top of the game right now. But here's the thing, Tyla ain't the only one dealing with this kind of flack. You got other artists like Lil Baby and DaBaby who've had to cancel tours too, because the tickets just weren't moving like they should have been. Now, that's just me being modest and unbiased about the situation, but if we're going to keep it all the way real, nobody messes with her outside of South Africa as they thought they did. I mean, all her songs sound the same, and the features she's getting for her Afrofusion aren't doing what they're supposed to do, audience-wise. Obviously, the views and plays are mostly botted, so can't judge her based of that. As far as missing out on Coachella, man, that's a big deal for someone whose career just started. But as mentioned, she had a quote-unquote leg injury and torn whatever she was recovering from. So for legal reasons that are stipulated in touring contracts, artists need to have legitimate reasons to cancel tour. So what would have it looked like if her team said she had to cancel her Europe tour due to an injury? Then a couple weeks later, she's seen at Coachella on stage, doing the most. It would have looked bad and unprofessional, as well as put her in legal trouble with touring companies and venues. Coachella is the type of gig that can take your career to the next level, you know. So for Tyla to have to skip out on that, it's got to be a major blow. But then you look at other artists like Saweetie, who's got millions of followers on the gram, but her album sales don't match up to that hype. Or Coi Leray, who's killing it on TikTok and Ish, but she's struggling to fill up venues on tour. It's like there's this disconnect between the online buzz and the real-life numbers, you feel me? And it's not just the new school artists either. Even some of the OGs in the game are feeling the heat when it comes to touring. It's like the whole landscape is shifting, and what used to work ain't guaranteed no more. Let's keep it a buck. Can you really blame the fans? Like, if an artist only has one hot single, is that enough to make people want to shell out their hard-earned bread for a whole ass concert? That's the question some folks are asking with Tyla. Like, yeah, Water was a banger, but what else she got? And that's where the whole album thing comes into play. Some people are saying maybe Tyla should have focused on dropping a full project before trying to hit the road. Like, build up that catalogue, give the fans more to latch onto, instead of rushing into a tour off the strength of one song. But then you got other folks pointing to artists like Tinashe, who had the industry behind her and some big collabs, but still couldn't translate that into major album sales or tour success. So it's like, damn, is there even a formula to this ish anymore? Or you just drop and hope for the best, and with how cancel culture is doing and trends coming in and out, will she be the next Ice Spice rise and slowly drop as fans get sick of her repetitive sounds? All I know is, this touring game ain't no joke right now, and for an artist like Tyla, who's still kind of finding her footing in the game, hitting them bumps in the road can be a real test of how solid her foundation is. But we ain't even really gotten into what the people are saying about Tyla's new album yet. The sales, the reviews, the reactions from the streets, there's a lot to unpack there. And you already know it's going to be some hot takes flying around. So keep your ear to the streets, because we're about to get into all that next. Trust me, you don't want to miss this ish. So let's talk about this album, man, Because you already know when an artist like Tyla drops a project, the whole game is watching. You feel me? But yo, the numbers ain't looking too pretty right now. Keep it a buck. Not even gonna speak on YouTube and Spotify because that's just botted views and bots all over that. Like, check this out. The album ain't even cracking the top 20 on iTunes worldwide or in Europe. How are you struggling to be top 20 even in your own country? And trust me, for an artist with Tyla's buzz, that's a red flag. You know what I mean? And get this, apparently none of the songs are even hitting 213 sales, which is like the bare minimum to get on the US chart. That's some real struggle-ish right there. She hit couple milestones on the African charts and South African charts, but that's only due to backlash and critics speaking on how her so-called Afro-fusion is just amapiano in English, some even going as far as saying amapiano genre isn't something that's supposed to be in English. Out of all the 11 South African official languages, she chose English. Some Twitter users even went as far as saying she could have even used Afrikaans, they would have rocked with it. And yo, the music video she just dropped. The views are mad low for someone with her kind of clout. We're talking 631k views and 70k likes after 15 hours. Now, since payola is involved, let's split that 631k views into half to assume the actual real number of people who watches it. Maybe I'm being nice. Let's just say 100k organic, real living, breathing humans such as you and I sat there and watched it in 15 hours. Now, to compare that to her other single that got over 140 million views, so this ain't adding up, fam. But it ain't just about the numbers though. The people are talking and they're saying the album is just meh. Like, there's no real range to it, you know? People are saying all the songs sound the same with that Afrobeats amapiano backbeat. I mean, peep what this one fan said. Water, Truth or Dare, and Art almost sound the exact damn same in one way or another. That's a tough critique right there. And yo, the music video she just dropped. The views are mad low for someone with her kind of clout. We're talking 631k views and 70k likes after 15 hours. Now, since payola is involved, let's split that 631k views into half to assume the actual real number of people who watches it. Maybe I'm being nice. Let's just say 100k organic, real living, breathing humans, such as you and I, sat there and watched it in 15 hours. Now, to compare that to her other single that got over 140 million views. So this ain't adding up, fam. But it ain't just about the numbers though. The people are talking and they're saying the album is just meh. Like, there's no real range to it, you know? People are saying all the songs sound the same with that Afrobeats, amapiano backbeat. I mean, peep what this one fan said. Water, Truth or Dare, and Art almost sound the exact damn same in one way or another. That's a tough critique right there. But then, you got all this other noise too, like the anti-American comments and the Chris Brown collab. Some folks are saying that's hurting her sales and support, but others ain't so sure. It's like, is it too early to call it a flop, or is there more to the story? 'Cause let's keep it real, this album just dropped and left. It wasn't a timeless piece, something that people discuss over and over. But at the same time, you can't ignore the early signs. You know what I mean? Her debut album isn't something to have us waiting in our chairs for something better or something more. It's like, damn, is this just a case of the hype not matching the reality? Because we've seen that before with other artists who blew up overnight. They come out the gate strong, but then it's a struggle to keep that momentum going. Boy, is she struggling. It's basically her looks keeping her afloat at this time. She's yet to feature on another artist's song as I'm writing this. So maybe when I drop the official video, things might have changed. It ain't just about one hot song or a bunch of TikTok views. And the most trending dance challenge, you've got to have the full package, the album, the live shows, the fan base, all that ish. And if one of those pieces ain't falling into place, it can trip you up real quick. And for her, it's an actual fan base. Gotta get it out the mud, or if the least of you catch the trending bird and get a lift to the top, make sure once you get dropped off, you don't get lost in the sauce and keep breaking doors to be like the greats. So yeah, Tyla isn't the only one who's dealing with this fellow African artist era star, Thames after blowing up overnight. However noticeable difference is, they have loyal fan bases prior to breaking the year as international acts and transitioning. She doesn't. Right now, she has the whole industry behind her and has had big collabs, just like Ice Spice and Tyla Ray. And unfortunately, looks like her days in the limelight are slowly dimming themselves. But there's still hope. Aight, so let's talk about this accent thing with Tyla, because you already know folks stay talking. Mainly the audience she's trying to gain attention from Americans. Now, for some reason, Americans and African Americans have this notion and believe that the whole world revolves around them. I mean, they call themselves the land of the great and free. They struggle to understand that others don't follow the same metrics as they do with a lot of things. There's been all this chatter about whether her accent is even real or if she's just putting on some kind of front, you feel me? And it's got people divided, like some people are saying it's all cap, while others are riding for her, saying it's legit. So peep this. Apparently there's been critics on platforms like Lipstick Alley who've been suggesting that Tyla's accent might just be some kind of marketing ploy, like a way to make her seem more exotic or relatable to different audiences, you know what I mean? And then you got folks on social media debating whether her accent changes depending on who she's talking to, like she's code switching or something. Then you have South Africans also divided, some saying it's how she talks, and some saying she's just putting it on to emphasize her coloured background. On the other hand, you got Tyla's supporters who are arguing that her accent is the real deal, and that it's just a reflection of her multicultural background. They're saying it ain't even that uncommon for people to have accents that shift in different contexts, especially if they've lived in a bunch of different places or been exposed to different cultures on the regular. Sounds like a whole bunch of stories. I mean, Tyla has lived in one country besides America, and that's the one she was born in, and based on all her videos you can dig up online, she doesn't have the same forced accent as she has now. Some fans have even been trying to defend Tyla by pointing out that accent variations are just a normal part of language dynamics, like it's not that deep, you know? I personally don't care mum's the word just going off based on what the word is, and research found online. But yo, speaking of controversy, there's been even more rumours flying around lately about Tyla's personal life, and man, this ish is juicy. Podcast and Chill in South Africa mentioned something that stuck and raised my eyebrows about Tyla might be dating her own manager. Now the manager, boyfriend, is the same one that helped South African, almost American sensation, Shoma Josie, get big in the US. But because she wasn't getting him nowhere, she dropped him like hotcakes. Is it true? And if so, what could that mean for her career? Keep it locked, because we're about to get into next, and I'll share my opinion and others' opinions. Now, Tyla dating her manager isn't something that isn't common. I mean, Ice Spice producer Riot is her boyfriend. Also, she goes online and says she's single, as that's how they keep their male audience, because after all, female artists need sex appeal and be able to sell it in order to get views, likes, etc. Yo, you know there's always going to be haters out there, right? Like, no matter how dope you are, there's always going to be somebody trying to bring you down. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Tyla right now. I'm probably going to be considered one of her biggest haters after this video. There's been all this talk about her music being repetitive and lacking range. Like critics are saying all her songs sound the same, which they kinda do. She hasn't found her sound yet. They're throwing around words like overrated and saying her ish sounds like Rihanna rejects or whatever. But yo, let's keep it real for a second. Tyla is still a new artist. She's just getting started in this game, and it takes time to develop your style and find your voice, you know? Like, even some of the greatest artists of all time didn't come out the gate with their most iconic sounds. They had to experiment and evolve over time to get to that point. So when I see people hating on Tyla for not having a super diverse sound yet, I'm like, Yeah, I get where you're zooming from, just give her another project drop before going in heavy. Ironic of me to say, right, considering I've been going in at her myself. She's still figuring it out, and that's okay. It's part of the process. And let's not forget, she's already achieved so much in such a short time. Or did Payola achieve it for her jokes? Like, the fact that she's even in the conversation for a Grammy is a huge accomplishment, especially for a new artist. That ish doesn't just happen by accident, you know what I mean? It happens because you're the chosen one or an agenda is being pushed. Just kidding, or am I? Maybe her music isn't the most groundbreaking thing in the world right now, but that doesn't mean it's not good, and it definitely doesn't mean she doesn't have the potential to grow and evolve as an artist. I mean, look at some of the other new artists out there who have struggled at first, but then found their groove and blew up. It's all part of the journey. You got to give people room to grow and find themselves. And who knows, maybe Tyla's just getting started. Maybe she's got some crazy new sounds and styles up her sleeve that we haven't even heard yet. Just don't be surprised if it's borrowed material from other South African artists and just spun in English. I wouldn't count her out just because she's not a fully formed artist right out the gate, you know? But speaking of controversy, there's been some talk about how Tyla's collaborations with certain artists might be affecting her career. Like, what's the deal with her working with Chris Brown? Is that a smart move, or could it end up hurting her in the long run? But Chris Brown is known for working with African artists, and no offense to Big Dog, he ruins all his African collabs. Some things shouldn't, nor do they need American artists on them. They just don't gel, but because people's fan bases will gas them up. Now, we obviously know her remix of Water with Travis Scott was just for clout, and to integrate her more into the American industry and soft launch her. Because honestly, that song did not need a remix at all. Why force it? And even so, out of people you could have chosen Travis Scott, really. Her song As Well with Gunna, really her collaborations aren't matched at all for her sound. I'm going to assume this was done for experimental purposes, obviously clout purposes as well, and maybe budget was tight. And other artist labels did not clear verses in time or dropped out last minute. However, they really didn't match the sound. Left you not having a clue what her vision is. I mean, she said Afrofusion and whatnot, but it's just Afrobeats and Amapiano in English. Or is that what we're labeling it now? Afrofusion. It's crazy how split people are on Tyla. Like, some folks in the hip-hop world are all about her saying she's the next big thing, but wouldn't believe anything from people who get paid for their opinions and views on topics. No actual artists have spoken on her album. Well, not to my knowledge, let's say. And those that spoke on it, are they on the same label as her? Or their features on the album? A breath of fresh air in the game? They're hyping up her unique style, her catchy hooks, the way she blends different genres together. Saying she's got that star power, that it factor that you can't teach. She's not the first or the last to mix genres together at this point. I'm starting to think people are being paid for options and views, or they're just riding the bandwagon of their hate or love. Hard to sense if these are people's genuine options about her music. Then you got the other side, the haters and the doubters, you know? They're looking at her crazy rise to the top, and they're like, hold up, something ain't right here. They're throwing around words like industry plant, saying her success is all manufactured, that she's just a product of marketing and hype. Some of the OGs in the game have been pretty vocal about their skepticism. You know what I mean? Like, they're questioning her authenticity, saying she's biting other people's styles, that she hasn't paid her dues in the music industry. They're looking at her numbers and saying, yeah, she's got the social media buzz, but where's the real talent? Where's the longevity? She just dropped a hit song, got it viral on TikTok, and that's all she needed to win a Grammy. Even some saying she's an international act, so it was easy for her to win. But then you got other respected names in the industry who are coming to her defense, saying people need to give her a chance to prove herself. They're pointing to her live performances, her freestyles, saying she's got the skills to back up the hype. They lost me at freestyles because she's a singer, nor a rapper. She doesn't freestyle, or even write her own music. Her song was written by her and 4 other people. However, there's definitely a contingent of fans and artists who are rooting for Tyla, who want to see her succeed and shake up the game. They're hyped about the freshness she's bringing, the way she's raking up accolades straight out the gate. This next topic, Insight Bites, takes the cake. The whole Grammy situation with Tyla is wild, something we didn't. Except but kinda did when she was listed as a nominee. You kinda sort of knew it was going to go to her if you're clued into the music industry and notice patterns. How did she even pull that off with just one hype viral song that had people doing challenges all over the world? It's got everybody talking, trying to figure out what really went down. I can share my opium and speculations. I believe her manager-boyfriend has connections and promised some label executives she'll sign to them if she wins a Grammy, etc., etc. Now that's just my speculations, so let's break it down right. First off, you're a one-hit wonder, you're connected and possibly dating someone who's rumoured to do some shady dealings behind the scenes. Did somebody grease some palms to get Tyla that win? I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before in the music industry. But that's a heavy accusation to throw around without proof, you know? Then you got folks pointing to her numbers, saying they don't add up, which they didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if her old label boosted her views as well to assist the growing hype behind her hit single Water. The Grammys, they're not just about the numbers, you know? There's politics involved, there's personal taste, there's all kinds of factors that go into who wins what. And let's be real, Tyla's got that buzz factor going for her. She's the new hotness, the one everybody's talking about. That counts for something, even if people didn't think she deserved it or put in the work to even be there. Plus, you can't deny the girl's got talent. Even her haters got to admit she can spit bars and she's got a unique style. So maybe that swayed some votes her way, you know? Maybe the Grammy folks wanted to recognise that fresh new sound she's bringing to the game. Or maybe, just maybe, it was a little bit of everything. A perfect storm of hype, talent, and maybe a dash of industry shadiness. Because let's be real, the music biz ain't always squeaky clean. There's a lot of ish that goes on behind closed doors that we don't even know about. At the end of the day, though, Tyla's walking away with that Grammy. And that's a big fat deal. Whether she deserved it or not, whether it was all above board or not, that's a career-defining moment. It puts her on a whole new level, you know? This also puts a big-ass target on her back. Because now everybody's watching her even closer, waiting for her to slip up, to prove she's not all that. And with all the controversy and drama surrounding her personal life, her public image, you gotta wonder how she's gonna handle all that pressure. Is she gonna rise above it and keep killing the game? Or is this Grammy win gonna turn out to be more trouble than it's worth in the long run? I guess only time will tell. Speaking of her public image though, that ish has been a wild ride from the jump. All the rumours, the controversies, the he said she said. How has all that affected her career, you think? Has it helped her blow up even more, or is it starting to drag her down? It's crazy how much a person's public image can make or break their career. You know what I mean? Like, just look at Tyla. The girl's been in the spotlight non-stop doing a press run whilst receiving backlash about her whole career existence. All the controversies, the rumours, the drama. That ish can take a toll on a person no matter how talented they are. I'm gassing this like she's front page or something, when really it's just a bunch of videos I stumbled on, all because I watched one of her TikTok forced ads they had running for "They All Love Pretty Girl from Joburg," or whatever the song says. She's really not in the media like that anymore. It was only before the Grammys and after the Grammys and recently at the Met Gala for her gorgeous fit. You can't deny that all the buzz around Tyla has played a big role in her success too. I mean, think about it. Would she have gotten this far this fast without all the hype and the constant criticism? Sometimes it feels like there's no such thing as bad publicity in this game, especially when you have the sex appeal she does, if you get me. She's like a double-edged sword though. On one hand, the constant attention keeps Tyla's name on everybody's lips, gets her trending on social media, all that. But on the other hand, it also means she's under a microscope 24/7, with everybody just waiting for her to F-ish up. And when you're dealing with controversies like the whole accent thing, or the rumours about her and her manager, that ish can start to wear on you, mentally and emotionally. Once again, I'm gassing it. It's really not even that deep for her or any serious controversies, just Twitter chit-chat here and there. You can say US has forgotten about her already. I mean, not even the Shade Room has posted her, or a lot of big American YouTubers or music critics on social media have reacted to her music. She did appear on fellow American internet sensation Kai Center Twitch stream. Like most artists have done so, this has rumoured to boost an artist's career. I personally didn't notice a change in her views, just most tweets hash Kai and Tyla. Basically everyone speaking on her rejecting him, not so much her music. Everyone speaking on her beauty and body, not so much her music. A snippet of that Twitch stream was posted by Shade Room and other platforms, not her music. Then you got folks criticising Tyla's management, saying they're more focused on PR stunts than actually developing her talent. That kind of ish that can make people start to question her authenticity, her staying power in the game. She's got a somewhat loyal fan base, so they want us to believe if she can learn to navigate all the bullshit that comes with fame, to stay true to herself and her art through all the noise. Who knows how far she could go? So let's keep it real for a minute. Being a new artist in today's game ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Like, you got all these expectations and pressures coming at you from every angle, and it's like, how the underscore rap race, you know? And then you got all the criticism, all the haters coming out of the woodwork. Like, no matter what you do, there's always going to be someone out there ready to tear you down. And when you're still trying to find your footing in the game, still trying to figure out who you are as an artist, that ear can really get in your head. But at the same time, you can't let it stop you from doing your thing. You got to stay focused, stay true to your vision, and keep pushing forward. Because at the end of the day, that's what's going to set you apart, you know? That's what's going to give you that staying power in the game. And, it's not like Tyla's the only one who's had to deal with this kind of pressure. Like, you look at any of these overnight sensations, these artists who blew up off one hit, and they all got to face that same challenge of living up to the hype. Some of them rise to the occasion, and some of them crumble under the weight of it all. Right, so we've been talking about Tyla's come up, right? And it's like there's this whole debate going on about what really got her to where she's at. Like, is it her raw talent, or is it just some slick-ass marketing moves behind the scenes? Because let's keep it a buck, the industry is full of talented folks who never make it big, and then you got these one-hit wonders who blow up off of hype alone. But with Tyla, it's like she got that hit single Water that put her on the map, and there's no denying that joint is a banger. But then you look at her album sales and her tour numbers, and it's like, hold up, something ain't adding up here. Because if she was really that nice on the mic, wouldn't more people be copying her music and coming out to her shows? And that's where the whole payola thing comes in. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these rumours floating around that her team is just throwing mad money at radio stations and streaming platforms to keep her ish in rotation. And if that's true, then it's like, how much of her success is really based on skill? And how much of it is just bought and paid for? But at the same time, you can't just write off Tyla's talent completely. Because even if her management is pulling some shady moves behind the scenes, she still had to have something special to catch their attention in the first place. Like, you don't just invest all those resources into any random chick off the street, you know? So maybe it's like a combination of both, like her natural abilities got her foot in the door, but then the marketing machine took over and blew her up to a whole other level. Because let's be real, even the most talented artists still need that push to really make it in this game. But the question is, can Tyla sustain that success in the long run? Because if it's all just hype and no substance, eventually people are going to catch on and lose interest. And then what? She just becomes another flash in the pan, another cautionary tale about the dangers of too much too soon. But hey, maybe Tyla will surprise us all and prove that she's got the chops to back up the buzz. Maybe she'll drop a classic album that silences all the haters and cements her place in the game. Or maybe she'll just fall off and become another forgotten name in the history of hip-hop. I guess only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Tyla's story is far from over. Because now that she's got the world's attention, it's up to her to make it count. Whether she rises to the occasion or crumbles under the pressure, man, who knows where this journey will take her next. So what's next for Tyla? And is it worth us even bothering to tune in at this point? It's hard to say for sure, because the music game is always changing, always evolving. However, if she can keep that momentum going, this me trying to be nice, I don't really AEE any momentum she has. Has she even been featured on another artist's song? Is she going to keep dropping them hits and staying relevant? There's no telling how far she could go. But then again, it's like, how do you top an overnight success like that? She struggled to top Hit Song Water, just my personal opinion, others might say otherwise, which is fine. And some of y'all might agree, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations to live up to, and let's keep it real. Not everyone can handle that kind of spotlight, that kind of scrutiny. It takes a special kind of artist to turn that initial hype into a long-term career, you know? But hey, Tyla's young, she's got time on her side. If she can stay focused, stay true to her vision, and keep evolving as an artist, who knows what kind of mark she could leave on the game. Maybe she'll drop a classic album that cements her place in music industry history. Anyways, is conclusion, I maybe possible have gassed this up more than I should have. It's really not that deep. She won a Grammy off one song, yay. Her album's sales flopped, her music career is running on payola and features that make absolutely no sense. Her manager, boyfriend and her are eating good, allegedly. Funny how I'm only now saying allegedly after just saying all what I've just said minutes back. She's finding her sound, hopefully she'll surprise us with the next drop, or she'll go mute and drop singles here and there to test waters. My bet goes to say they'll try get her on songs with the likes or Ice Spice and new artists on the come-up. If I was part of her management team, ODB working on dropping my next hit, then capitalise off that and go on a feature run and do features with everyone worldwide to build her fan base slowly. But I'm not her manager. Shit, I'm struggled to even get my YouTube channel off the ground and up and running. Anyways, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and watch all my other content, and full video will drop soon.